What is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mark Talk Sport. Today we're going to go through all of the Reading players that are out of contract or currently here, and we're going to go through all of them and who I think we should keep and who I think we should get rid of. I'm not going to say who the players who I think we should bring in because I haven't got that much dense knowledge of League One or League Two, but I've seen a lot of good things online, and then we might go through some tweets of people who have talked about who we should be looking at to buy. It's a bit of fun for us on Twitter as well as someone, and I want you to go and follow them as well. But before we get into that, don't forget we do have another channel, Mark Talks Wrestling, where we're uploading 3-4 times a week, talking all things WWE at this precise moment. So yeah, go and check that out. The link to that is down in the channel somewhere. Don't forget as well to go and give us a follow on all of the channels you see down below or up there. I can't remember which way it is. Go and give us a follow on that, and don't forget to subscribe and like and comment on the videos. You guys have been amazing so far with all the love and support you've been doing on this channel. Lots of comments, lots of views. It has meant the world to me, so thank you guys ever so much. This is a little bit different now, as we're not talking about a match, we're talking about players and my thoughts on the players, and I want to hear your thoughts as well in the comments. So please go down, have a chat with each other, have a chat with yourself, and tell me what you guys think. So without further ado, jump with me to the headset on and my intro. Hit my intro. Right, welcome. So we have two parts to this type thing, where what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the screen of the Reading website. I also want to say thank you to Adam Jones from the Charles End, who is allowing me to use Charles End's graphic of players' contracts that are either out or how many years they have left. On there, I will have it on a different screen. I will be looking at that just so that we can have a look at where we need to improve and who I think we need to keep and stay. I will show you the graphic during or after. Actually, I'll show you guys now because I'm a nice person. People want to say, but I don't believe them. Right, let me see if I can do it quickly. This. All right, so this is the graphic that we will be using. You can have a quick glance, pause it, have a look at it. This is what they've used and said who's in the remaining years of their contracts, how many they've got left, and what they would do. So I will have that on a different screen and sort of look over to the Reading one and sort of say my opinion and what I think we should do. And then I will let you guys know how many years left of the contract they have and what I think we should do with them. So with that being said, let's move over to the Reading website and let's have a look at the Reading players. And let me get up. I'm doing all this. I'm just so good at this. Not really. Right. So I'm going to be looking like this a lot. So if you just want to keep your eye on the players, we will go through them. Right. Joe Lumley is a loanee. He is also, I think, out of contract with Middlesbrough at the end of the season. So as we know, Dean is also got another 2 years left onto his contract. I would keep him as a backup, but who should he back up to? Should it be Luke Southwood? Should it be Anderson? Or should it be Lumley? If I'm looking at everything going, what I feel like is going to happen and what is actually going to happen, what I feel like is going to happen, I think Luke Southwood's going to leave. I think the question that was asked to them at the Bowen event was, with how good Luke Southwood's doing at the moment, would you keep him? And one of the thing he come back with was, do we see Luke Southwood to be the future Reading number one? Do they think that Luke Southwood's going to be the one that will take Reading and move it forward going along? Yes, he had an outstanding record when he was on loan this season, but is he going to be Anderson? He's also out of contract. Apparently, Reading do have an option to trigger an extension to that if they want to. See, this is when it gets a little bit difficult because I think Nicole Anderson has 1 year left on top of this, so he will be here next season, but I feel like we should extend his contract by another 2, and I feel like we should send him out on loan to a League One or League Two club to get more experience. I don't think we should retain Joe Lumley. I think we should exercise the option for Luke Southwood and give him 6 months. Give him 6 months in the League One and see what he does. Also, Connor Boyce-Clark is also out of contract at the end of the season. I feel like we should tie him down to a very long-term deal with probably a minimum release clause in it because he seems to have a lot of potential and a lot of clubs are looking at him. So if we exercise a long-term deal with a minimum release clause, if it doesn't work out at us and send him out on loan to a League Two club to gain first team experience next season, I feel like that will help him a lot. So, with all of that, Bozans I would keep as a backup. I think we should keep Luke Southwood, exercise the option for the next year, see how he gets on 6 months into the season. If it's working out before Christmas, I would open negotiations to a long-term contract. Boyce-Clark, I feel like we should get him a long-term deal with a minimum release clause in it, so that if it does work out and does well, we will get bob for our money. But if it doesn't, we will still get bob for our money because clubs will still be swarming around for him. Anderson, I think we should extend his contract by another maybe year or two and send him out on loan. And Lumley, I don't think will be with us, even though I want to say I like Lumley. I think he's a really good keeper. The best shithousery keeper I have ever seen in my entire life. I love every single second of it. And him becoming player of the year means that he did really good behind the scenes of what he was meant to have done and what he was doing. So, quick roundup, shall we? Lumley, no more. Banzas, number 2. Southwood, extend, maybe renew in December to long term if it doesn't work out. Boyce-Clark, long-term deal, minimum release clause, send him out on loan. Anderson, send him out on loan to a League One, League Two club and extend. How old is Anderson? Why does it not say ages on the thing? Right, we're going to go and look. I'm not even going to try to spell that because it's not going to happen. So he is 21. Yeah, really young for a goalkeeper. Long-term deal. Try to extend that and send him out on loan to give him first team experience. Right, next up, we've got the defenders. Right. Tom Holmes. Tom Holmes has 2 more years to his current deal. Keep him. Sam Hutchinson. So this is a difficult one because I feel like he could be a great leader, but injury, he's still got 1 more year left. I wouldn't extend his contract. I would either try to sell him if a club comes in for him or keep him as a leadership in the background. Tom McIntyre has 1 more year left. He should not be given a new contract if he's going to be played as a defender. If he's going to be moved into the defensive midfielder role or a midfielder role, then give him up until December to see how he gets on in that position, then try and do it. You're going to get a lot of people saying he's one of our own. Maybe he might care, but ability-wise, he's not there, especially defending. So that is my worry for him as a defender. He is not there. Scott Dan, I think we should just release him. Baba, he's going back to Chelsea anyway. We will not be getting him back. Andy Yeardom, massive talking point within the Reading fan base at the moment, what we should do with him. He has 2 more years on top of the ones he's got at the moment and captain. Okay, so for me, I would keep him. I would have him, and I would play him at right back and keep him the captaincy. I feel like under Paul Ince, he wasn't played in the right position at all, and wasn't utilised to the best of his strength whatsoever. And I feel like he needs to be playing right back more. When he played right back in the final 3 home games, I thought that was his best performance he did this season, where he can overlap and attack and defend at the same time. I think he could be really good in League One as the right back. We'll talk about the manager situation in a minute at the end of this video, so we will discuss that a little bit more. Nesta Guinness-Walker is out of contract. We need to extend his contract as a left back because currently Abbey is the only left back we have at the club that is in contract. Who has 1 year more on his contract at the moment. I would give him a 2-year deal with an option of extend it to another. And I would also, I wouldn't put a release clause in there because I don't think he's going to be big. But he needs to work on it. Well, I say this. Okay, so my massive gripe with Mr. Guinness-Walker this season was his defending. From when Noel Hunt come in, he learned how to defend. And he actually got trained to be a defender. So he did very well. Naby Sarr, he's still got another 3 years. Keep him. You need to build a defence around him. Didn't have the great of times, but for the final few games, I thought he played really well. How many he played this season? 25 appearances, 24 starts, 2,129 minutes, won 97 duels and got 1 goal. And I think that was his only goal was his debut against Millwall away, if I'm right. He won 51% of his headers, which is amazing. He won 53% of his tackles, could be better, but his pass completion rate of 79%. You could say that he did 560 short passes and 64 long passes, which for a big man, pretty good. Liam Moore has already said he is leaving the club. I would not have extended his contract anyway. I don't think he's right for Reading. I also feel like he's going to have a tough time finding a club because of the injuries he's been getting over the past 2 years. So hopefully he goes on. I'm not going to say anything about the Liam Moore situation. The only thing I'll say is he bred his butter when he decided he wanted to leave and the way that it all went down. Do I feel sorry for him? No. Do I feel sorry for the club about the situation? No. Do I feel sorry for anyone in the parties that have been involved in this? No. They're all to be blamed. The club, Liam Moore, everyone is to be blamed on there as well. Interesting that Mbugu is a defender but registered as a midfielder on the website. Anyway, so the other players that are not on there that we need to be looking at is Abbey. He's got a 1-year deal. I think we should extend that deal, add another 2 years to that, and then see how he goes. Because then you've got 3 years of him then being a backup to maybe Guinness Walker. You're going to get game times in League One because there is a lot of games to play, as well as the Championship as well. And you'll also have the Johnson's Paint Trophy, the first round of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as well. And Mbugu is out of contract as well. We were going to go into him in a minute. I think we should keep him he should be staying, and I can't ever pronounce his name. So I'm Aberfur, him. He has 1 more year, 1 year deal left. He got a lot of game time under Noel Hunt, and he had a game time at the end of Paul Ince. He has something about him attacking wise that I like. Haven't really seen him defend yet, but attacking wise I like. So let's run through the defenders. Baba won't be here. Guinness Walker, extend. Abbey, have a look at him. Hutchinson, if an offer comes in, sell. If not, keep him for leadership. Holmes, keep. McIntyre should not be a defender. Put him in midfield. And if he is, give him an extension. Sarr, keep. Dan, go. Moore, go. Holzman has got a 2-year deal on top of. Maybe give him a chance. Put him around the first team. We will see. Dorset, we don't know. Yeardom, 2 more years. Keep unless an offer comes in. If an offer comes in, sell. If not, keep leadership and play him in the right position. And Mbugu, extend that contract. That's the first fucking thing you need to do. Abafua has got 1 more year deal left. Right, midfielders. Jeff Hendrick, loan, won't be returning. Loom, loan, will not be returning. Fauna, I would love for him to come back, but we don't know because we're in League One what deal could be made, but I would like to have him back. Kasady, love for him to come back. We'd love for him to be in our midfield next season, but He's Chelsea, and I don't think he'll go down to League One. Tetic, let him go. Not good enough, injury prone, needs to go somewhere new. Senga, who got his debut for Reading against Huddersfield, I think, it was his first proper appearance. Keep. Noel Hunt has talked big game about him, and Mark Bowen said big things about him as well. In the Bowen event, saying he could be the next one, which is great to see. There's some more have a look at here. Hendrick gone. Ince, keep. Please keep. Unless we get a stupid amount of money for him, keep and let him play and play to his strengths. Simple. Oviajaria, keep if his attitude is right. If he's willing to get in there and muddle around, keep. These two together, Ince and Oviajaria. Oviajaria, maybe if we go for a 4-2-3-1, behind the striker, Ince on the right wing, cutting in on his left. Could be extremely dangerous in League One. Could be very dangerous, and I would be all here for it. Jaria has 1 year left of his deal. It all depends on attitude. If we get big money for him in the summer, sell him or try to extend it under the new manager so that we can maybe get some money for him in the future. Tetic, goodbye. Forna, please return. Casady, please return. Loom, I love you. I want you in my room. But no. Junior Hoylett, interesting with Junior Hoylett. Out of contract. I don't think it will be extended. If it is, it will be great to have more experience on the wing, and I want him playing as a winger. Do not play him at right wing back, please, for the love of God. Even though he did a great job, put him at winger. And Bugu, keep every day of the week. Just check and see if there's anyone on the contracts list that we're going. Ince has 2 more years to his deal, so unless an offer comes in, I don't see him. Also, another one that's not on this list, Mo Kamara, who has another 2 years, is another one that we will be seeing next season as well. I presume, unless a loan offer comes in or a big transfer offer, I see it happening. Andy Carroll has 1 more. Let's go on to strikers, and then at the end, we will pick through and then talk about the manager situation at the moment. So we'll go through the strikers, we'll run through them all again, and then manager situation, who I think should be the next manager, who I would like to be the next manager, and where I see us going from here. So strikers, Andy Carroll has already stated that he is staying for another year. Noel Hunt has come out and buffed all of the people that were saying he refused to get on the coach. It's nonsense. Noel Hunt wanted Carroll to be fit and firing for pre-season for the start of next season. So ignore all the people that are saying that. A load of bollocks. And I love Andy Carroll, my big sexy Geordie bastard. Shane Long has announced his retirement. Has announced his retirement from football. Thank you ever so much for all the service you've done. It hasn't been a great year, we know, but hopefully you stick around if you want to go coaching with the backroom staff. Stick around the club. It'd be great to have you here. Lucas Joe has already announced that he's leaving. Noel Hunt, I'm going to pause this because I want to find the quote that Noel Hunt come out with the other day. Right, so this is the quote that Noel Hunt come out with. He said, I don't want to talk about Lucas. I think we've wasted enough time on people who aren't committed to giving 100% to Reading FC.
I got a text message on Thursday after the game, and after that, it was best to leave it and at terms of the commitment. Right, we're now on the Reading. Where are we on it? Reading RDG today to talk about some of the stuff that was discussed over it. And these are some of the comments that Noel Hunt said after the game. Everyone has to be committed. Everyone's got to be invested both emotionally, physically, and mentally into this football club. And you can't give any less than 100%. If you're not, you're cheating yourself and cheating the football club and your teammates. When somebody isn't pulling their weight in training or in the gym or on the field of play, you pull them up and make sure you get a grip of them and don't accept it. As a team, if you stay together and play as a team, these these things are less likely to happen. And then Hunt on Mate. Hunt was quick to praise for Mate to return early despite having problems with a hamstring injury, which the interim boss ruled him out of contention for the Huddersfield game. He said people like Mate Yaku, who tries to come back 4 to 5 weeks into a 12 to 14-week injury. He wants to come back, he wants to be involved and wanted to play. But I made the decision for him. It could have risked him tearing his hamstring and be out for 3 to 6 months. He said, I also took the same decision out of my hands for Andy Carroll. Yak is a different story, but Andy is here next season and we want him to be fit and firing for pre season. Hunt also gave an update on Ovi. He said Ovi's had operation 2 weeks ago. Not sure when he's back. As far as I'm aware, he's contracted here next season, and right now he is a Reading football player. Ovi has been great for me. He came into the under 21s trying to get back fit, and unfortunately picked up an awkward England trainee and needed surgery. Right. So now Andy Carroll, Shane Long, Lucas Jowl needs to be gone. The attitude sums him up. Yaku Mate, I wish him all the best. It's such a shame with the amount of injuries this man gets. If he could be fit and firing, I think we would have stayed up. But this man's injury record is not good enough. And he won't play in League One. He won't be here next season anyway. Um, so thank you ever so much. I think he might be the only player I say leave that I will be sad to see go with the passion he has for Reading and the love he got as well. Hopefully, one day we'll see him in the stands with us, supporting the team in the future. Femi Aziz has another year deal onto it. I would extend that, put a minimum release clause in it, because if he becomes the player we think he's going to be, he could be something special. I have real high hopes for Femi. I like what he does. I like though his directness. Needs to learn to take a corner, but apart from that, his directness and the way he plays, I really, 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 really enjoy. So we look at Luke George Puskas has now got an option for a £4 million obligation by Genoa. No, I don't. Do you? After they secured promotion to Serie A. there is an option for him to go there and to play. I'm just looking to see if they've got any other stats for him. No. Yeah, season long loan to Genoa. No, I don't know her. Hopefully he does stay there longer. Right. So that's all of the players. That is everything that's going on. Let's quickly run through what I think, and then we'll move on to the manager situation. Joe Lumley, thank you. No. Dean, backup. Luke Southwood, 6 months. See how he gets on with an option to further his career. Yako, 1 year left. Give him an extension and send him out on loan. Tom Holmes, yes. Sam Hutchinson, yes, as a backup or sell if a lot of money comes in. Tom McIntyre, defender, maybe. Scott Dan, no thank you. Baba, thank you for everything. I'm not awake. We're not awake anymore now for you. You will be going back to Chelsea. Yeardham, keep, but only if we don't get a big offer for him. But keep him playing right back. Nesta Guinness Walker, extend, please. Naby Sarr, keep. Liam Moore, goodbye. Jeff Hendrick, goodbye. Tom Ince, yes please, keep. Ovia Jaria, keep, only if we don't get big money for him, and try to extend his deal to another year or two so that when he is fully fit and will be in the team, he will get picked up if he does what he does best. Tetic, bye-bye. Torres Forna, please come back. Kasady, please come back. Loom, thank you. Don't think so. Junior Hoyle, maybe on that one. I would like to see him maybe another 1 year deal to keep him as a winger. And Bugu, extend with my life depending on it. Andy Carroll, keep please. Big sexy Geordie bastard. Shane Long, retired. Thank you for everything. Lucas Jow, fuck off. Yaku Mate, thank you for everything. I hope you go and find a club that you can progress and don't get injured with. Femi Aziz, yes please, stay. George Pushkas, fuck off. Simple as that, really. Didn't think it was going to be that hard. Right, let me just pause because we're now going to go and look at something else. Right, so here are the current odds for the next manager after a report come out yesterday that Chris Wilder and Reading apparently had a conversation about maybe him becoming the next Reading manager. He has now jumped all the way to the first spot over Steve Cottrell, who was the number one the other day. I tweeted out. Danny Cowley, as I have reported several times on Twitter, or my sources have told me this is never going to happen. But also, I don't know if I believe that. Richie Wellens could be an option. I've seen a lot of Noel Hunt. I don't think will happen. John O'Shea has just recently got his Continental Pro license, so he could be an option. Carl Robinson, please do not touch with a barge pole. Graham Murty, yes, but nostalgia. Nathan Jones, I would, because he just done it with Luton. Just with no budget, youth players. Nathan Jones can do it. You give him money, he crumbles like a biscuit. Neil Crikely, yes, I think he didn't have a great time at QPR, but I think he could lead Bowyer. Please don't ever. Neil Lennon, please do not touch him with a barge pole. Liam Richardson, we're now going into the fun part here. I want to find some funny ones. Scott Parker, Joey Barton, Stephen Gerrard. We're going for the funny ones now. John Terry, Sean Derry. My God, these are going to get Gary Monk. He hasn't been a manager in 3 years. Well, be 3 years in November. Mark Warburton, will he be leaving West Ham? Who knows? Chris Hughton, Garner. Lee Catamol. Is he even a fucking manager? Kenny Jackett. Sol Campbell, please do not. Jonathan Woodgate, please do not. This is fun now. Robbie Fowler. God no. Well, he's just been appointed sporting director. Graham Potter, yes please. Colo Torre, no. Lee Johnson, do not touch him. And Peter Wild, 66-1 from Barrow. Interesting. So yeah, these are the ones. Okay, so my thinking behind Chris Wilder, I think this would be a good appointment. I like Chris Wilder a lot. I think he is a very, very good manager. He hasn't had the best times in the previous two jobs, three jobs. Well, two jobs, you would say. Sheffield United, I think, yeah, he got sacked, but I think he done an absolute fantastic job from getting them from League One to the Premiership. And if you give him time, he can do a really good job. Middlesbrough didn't work out the way it should have. And Watford, I don't think you can really blame a manager at Watford. I just think that's a quick, easy to make money to go on to something else at Watford because you're not going to do much there, are you? So Chris Wilder, for me, I think would be great. I think he would be someone who would don't allow shit from the players. He seems like a manager that was rough and tough. I feel like he's someone that could come in and help the youngsters, and I feel like so he could be coming in to do well. He's got a great record in League One, great record in the Championship. If he gets, and he's done it on when he hasn't had backing as well to go on and do it. So I hope that he will be able to, if he does get appointed, it does come in. I will be looking forward to seeing that, and then I'm looking forward to see what the players will do from there. Right. Just to finish off, I don't think the players' contracts, anything will be done until a new manager is announced. I feel like what they're going to do is appoint a manager, talk about what they want to do with the players and stuff, and where they want to go moving the club forward, and then decide which players will get an extension and get what they need moving forward. For me, Chris Wilder is the number one choice for myself. If it's not Chris Wilder and there's a second option, then I would go with Richard Wellens, who's done a fantastic job at Leyton Orient. Apart from that, maybe Nathan Jones and Neil Crikely will be the other options for me as well. We need a manager, not a former player. Simple. We need a tactical manager and we need someone that can come in. So yeah. Tough season, but this is the start of the rebuild now. Looking forward to the coming up to pre-season. Looking forward to when the manager's selected. We will be doing specials on that. We will be talking about all the contract extensions and players leaving. We might have breaks here and there, depending on if there's much news going on. We will do a weekly news roundup of all things Reading, of what's going on, what could happen and what doesn't happen, and doing all of that. But anyway, this is the first pre-season in League One. It's the first time coming back that we will have a long extended, not us having a long extended, but long extended break now till the start of the season. And in that time, we will be making a lot of content. I will be looking for fans if they want to come on and talk about why they love Reading, what they want to see next, and all things general chit chat. And with that, that is me done. I want to say thank you ever so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys for the next video. Peace.